Okay, all praises to the Most High, man. The lost sheep are reunited once again to bring light to the scriptures, to the mishandling of this word that all these false doctrines, false teachers, the word says, woe to the pastors that scattered my sheep. We represent the lost sheep of Israel to the effect that that's even our moniker, right? That's our camp name, because we really about our people. We really about teaching who are these so-called lost sheep, okay? So there's going to be a lot of naysayers, refuters, and we're not really here for them. Naysay all you want. The scriptures teach us that the Most High made an election. We recognize who that election is, and we speak unto that election. Okay? We're here for the 1/3 elect of Israel, and that's what we're here to do. But without further ado, we're going to get into this, man. Always giving all glory and praises to the Most High. We do it in the Paleo Hebrew so that it carries the best frequency to reach the heavens. Where's the east? The lights in east. East is... Yeah, it's that way. We're facing these. All right. Yeah. We're already facing these. All praises to the Most High. So much for the smartwatch complex. Technically, it's a little bit this way. Right here. It's a little bit this way.
This is where my phone was going. Right this way.
Yep, kind of this way. But we're technically facing.
Yep.
All right. So we face the east because we face our motherland. Okay. You can call the motherland Africa, it's east too, but so is Jerusalem. So we facing towards Jerusalem, towards the land of our forefathers. And with that being said, I want to go call halal Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach Mamalak Yalawan, Barakata, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai, Barakata Rapha. Start me off at Jeremiah 31. Baba Kushar, get me Hebrews 10 and 11. Actually, you get me Jeremiah 31. You get me Hebrews 10 and 11. And you get me Matthew 24 and 3. Baba Kushar, Brother Kushar. Matthew 24.
Jeremiah 31 and verse what?
You're at Hebrews, right?
31 and verse what?
I'm starting you off, 31 and 31. Read towards the camera, it's fine. I got your back. I take your post, I take the post of any reader. Go ahead.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, 31. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant did I break, although I was a husband unto them, saith the Lord.
But that's fine, because you're going to bring me into what I want to explain. What is the new covenant? People keep trying to mess this up. People are putting out the wrong information. Christianity swears that they're living in the new covenant. But who's the new covenant for? First of all, he said, unto the house of Judah and to the house of Israel, right? And he says, I'm going to do a new covenant. I'm glad that you ranked 32 out, because he says, not according to the one that I did with your father. Why? Because our forefathers broke that contract. It wasn't the Most High. Let me get this one thing straight right now. Because according to Christianity, they're under the concept that the Most High changes. They're under the concept that someone could change what goes forth from his mouth. Or what you got, of course, bring me out that Isaiah 55. You got Isaiah 55 already?
With the gospel?
No. My word doesn't come out. Come back.
55:11.
Okay? And you get me Malachi 3 and 6. Okay? So I want, let's get this straight. The Most High doesn't change. He is the Most High. He is the one in charge and the one in authority. And though he gave Christ, his son, the authority of us, Christ will always glorify his Father and never acting contrary to him. Imagine if I had some kind of business, right? Whatever that business may be, mercantile, whatever it is, right? And I've been the boss for many, many, many years, and then I'm going to pass it down to my son. But everything's functioning in the way that it's functioning. And I tell my son, hey, son, we're making buku money in this business. Everything's working to perfection. But I'm just tired. I'm going to retire. I'm going to give it over to you. Would you think that my son would go into my business, switch up everything to his delight, and take the risk that what's going and functioning through my leadership, through my wisdom that I established that business with, to take a chance, first of all, to go against me, and then take the chance that it's going to go right if he implements his ways? Okay? Now that's talking from a human mentality perspective. Imagine in the wisdom of the Most High in his creation, in his Son, that doesn't even make sense that they would be contrary to each other, or that he would do anything different than the Creator intended it to be. Okay? Malachi 3 and 6. You there yet, huh?
I got a precept in the meantime.
All right, bring it up.
This is the book of Galatians, chapter 3, verse 15. Brethren, I speak after the manner of men. Though it be but a man's covenant, yet it be confirmed. No man disannulleth or addeth thereunto.
Nobody's going to disannul this. Okay? That's even Paul saying this. And it's funny because a lot of Christians like to go to Galatians. It's specifically Galatians 3. I had to check my notes that he wasn't jumping on one of my notes already, because we're going to go to Galatians with this regardless. So he only brought further evidence in Galatians, where you like to run to show you that not even Paul had the authority to do that. Well, how could he, right? He was just an apostle, right? He was just a brother, somebody that was just working this truth out amongst his people, right? And so he's our beloved brother. We honor him, you know what I mean? But that wasn't his purpose, and so don't get his purpose twisted. He was just an eccentric brother that taught in ways that not the normal mortal man can understand. But us, the elect, we are given the wisdom to understand. We're going to touch on that in a little bit. All right, are you there? Malachi 3 and 6. Bring it out.
Bring it out. Malachi, book of Malachi, 3 and 6. Therefore, night shall be unto you.
That's Micah, bro. You're in Micah, Malachi. Bring out that Isaiah 55 and 11. Malachi chapter 3, 6. You don't have to worry about flipping the other page because you never lost. Right here, Malachi chapter 3, verse 6.
The book of Malachi, verse 3. Chapter 3, verse 6. For I am the Lord, I change not, therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed.
I haven't consumed you. I haven't totally destroyed you as a people because I don't change my word. I made a promise to your forefathers. I made a promise to your people, right? That this would not happen, okay? So the Most High is not going to go back on his word, but he knew what would happen, so he chose a certain people that would not break his covenant. A covenant, a pact is a contract. These people would not break his contract, but he knew that 2/3 of them would, okay? So that's why you broke the contract, okay? You're disannulled, right? You're out of the fold, all right? But he knew that he had to create the core of what was his beloved, okay? Bring that out in Isaiah 55 and 11. And hold what you have.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 55, verse 11. So shall my word be that go forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it.
It's gonna do. He's gonna do what he pleases. His word goes out. It's going to accomplish everything he pleases, everything he desires. The way he set it up, the way he wrote it, it's going to be accomplished in the way he said it. There is no one and no authority that's going to change that. Okay, not even the Son of Man, not even Christ. Okay, there's one that it says he doesn't share his glory. I know that one. Okay, so what see?
Can I give a?
Yeah, bring it out, because I gotta look for something.
So this is going into the Most High's word not changing, and how the Christian church has changed the gospel, but it stayed the same through Isaiah all the way to Luke. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 61, starting from the top. The Spirit of the Lord God has come upon me, because the Lord hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He hath sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prisons to them that are in bond, to proclaim the acceptable year of Yahweh and the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all that mourn, and to appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes, and oil for joy of the morning. So I'm going to go to Luke chapter 4 and 17, and it's going to say the same exact thing. This is Luke chapter 4 verse 17. And there was delivered unto him, which is Christ, the book of the prophet Isaiah. And when he opened the book, he found the place where it was written, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he hath anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He hath sent me to heal the brokenhearted, and preach deliverance unto the captives, and recovering the sight of the blind, and to set at liberty them that are bruised, to preach the acceptable year of Yahweh.
Break it down, you want? So check this out. Here's a cool thing. You got Christ preaching or teaching from the prophet Isaiah. So Despite he took one verse, right? He did precept upon precept, line upon line, and shut the book, right? As sometimes Christianity will blame us, well, why are you cherry picking? You know, so did not Christ cherry pick one verse to bring out something to the effect in his reference of teaching, right? But check it out. Don't you think that he did that because he knew the prophet Isaiah. He knew what was in the scriptures. He knew what he wanted and what he was wanting. And here we just read something from Isaiah, right? That the Most High's word. So he would know what his father was intending in his word, doing its pleasure, right? Here we got another book from Isaiah. Bring that out.
This is
another verse from Isaiah. Okay.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 42 and verse 8. I am the Lord, that is my name, and my glory will I not give to another.
So you're gonna tell me that the King of Kings is going to not know his father's intent through the prophet Isaiah, right? He was quoting Isaiah, okay? So he says, the Most High says he's not sharing his glory with anybody, meaning I'm not going to authorize anyone to override my word. It's my word. It's been established. It's been established from the beginning, and it went out, and it's not going to come back void because nobody's going to void it.
Yeah, that's change.
All right. So in Jeremiah 31, as the good brother said, he established his covenant. The covenant's not going to change. He's going to keep that promise, but he's going to keep that promise with 1/3 of Israel. Somebody bring out Hebrews 8. Bring out that Hebrews 8 now and read 10 through 11. So we get a full understanding of what this new covenant is.
It's the book of Hebrews, chapter 8 and verse 10. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days.
So the author of Hebrews is quoting now the prophet Jeremiah. Go ahead.
After those days, said the Lord, I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts.
Man, I tell you right now that the law is not written into the minds and hearts. We're like at a precursor of that because the elect has the wisdom to and the desire to want to do the law, but still we're not 100% with this because sometimes we're at odds with even within the confines of the doctrines that we're putting out. But we're putting out, but one thing is clear, that we're putting it out towards the elect, and we're putting it out so that we can join and be all in one accord. And the more we do this, the more that we work in the confines of the law, the more wisdom we start to gain. Okay? And the more wisdom, even the prophet Daniel said that the wisdom was not even, in the book of Daniel, the wisdom wasn't even increased to where it was going to be in these days. Okay? So we are now far beyond even, believe it or not, some people might call us heretic. They call Paul heretic, right? And say, hey, these guys are bugging out. They think they know more than the prophets. But believe it or not, because wisdom has increased, because we have all this information available to us, we are now more savvy than the prophets. Okay? Because the Most High, you got a precept for that? Okay. I wanted you to get that precept as well. See, this is us working in one accord in the Spirit. Where does the Spirit lead him to pick off of what I'm saying and know where to come out and bring the line upon line, the precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. So go there a little and let them know what you got.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, or the book of Sirach, chapter 1, verse 26. If you desire wisdom, guard the commandments, and Yahweh shall give her unto you.
Okay, so the problem that's happening here prior to the inception of the new covenant that is not still yet in effect, because again, we still are not at 100%. I put it this way, I would not even, this video wouldn't even be created at the point. Nobody would be at odds with each other. We would not be battling the naysayers. we wouldn't be here standing in this nice summer breeze trying to bring this information out, because you would already know it.
Exactly.
Okay? So, come on. But the wisdom is going, the more you practice this law, the more you practice God's words, the never changing word of the Most High, we pay honor and homage to it, and we do it willfully and not grievously, willingly, with all the love of our heart, to want to please our Father. In doing so, this is the actions that we do to earn those beautiful treasures that the Most High has to give us in wisdom through keeping the law. Okay? But Christ warned you of this. Give me Matthew 24, whoever was holding Matthew 24, 3 and 8.
You want me to finish off that Hebrews?
My bad. Let's keep going into the covenant to see if this is in effect as Christianity says. Okay?
Hebrews chapter 8, verse 10. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, said the Lord. I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts. And I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people. Verse 11. And they shall not teach every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for all shall know me, from the least to the greatest.
So from the least to the greatest of us, we would know. Even to the 2/3, even to the people that have to go into the next captivity, which won't be us, let me let you know. Okay? Even they would know who the Lord is, because they would have to bow down and be submissive to the Lord. There's no more bucking the system. This is what it's telling you. It will be no more bucking the system. There would not be somebody on the other side of that screen, whoever you are and you know who you are, saying, nah. That's what y'all do, right? But this is the word is plain, okay? The fact that I have to dumb it down for you is just because this is not in you. Right? The Most High created you to be the naysayer.
Let me hit verse 13.
Bring it up.
Hebrews chapter 8, verse 13. In that he said, A new covenant he hath made the first old. Now that which decayeth and waxeth old is ready to vanish away.
Now let's get this straight. Christianity would say, oh, the old is no good. How can something created by the God of the universe, the most wisest, powerful entity in the universe, create something that is fallible or something that is not good enough, right? The thing is, the first pact was to extract the pureness of the elect to bring them into that new pact. Right? Because the new pact is the reward. The new pact is the elect. After all the naysayers, after all the wrongdoers, after all of the wickedness of Israel has been extracted, right? Separating the sheep from the goats, the wheat from the tares, right? Here is your reward. Here are they, now that you're in Hebrews, right? Here are they that follow me through the regeneration, because these are the people that he chose from the beginning to walk with him in this walk till the end, and here's your reward, the new contract. Sign this one, okay? Yeah, we just did that.
I'm going to go to 33.
Okay, bring it up.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31 and 33. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, saith Yahweh, I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts.
You're going to be reprogrammed. It's going to be in your natural DNA to do this. Go ahead.
And I will be their God, and they shall be my people. Verse 34. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, Know Yahweh, for they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith Yahweh. For I will forgive their iniquity and I will remember their sin no more.
So again, from the least to the greatest, is going to notice the Most High is going to establish His kingdom through His Son, the King of Kings, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, and everything is going to be set straight and corrected, right? Get me. Yeah, I know. I want Matthew, but see now this is all leading me to other precepts. You got the precept that I want? Get that. Yeah. No, you. I just gave him something. Bring it up.
This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 5, verse. I'm gonna hit verse 18. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law.
Who's saying this?
Yahweh Shai, red letter.
Red letter, Christ. Shall not pass from the law. Okay, go ahead.
Till all be fulfilled.
Not everything is fulfilled. Go ahead.
Verse 19. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
This is just a precept off of that least. Don't think that that least means that you made it to the kingdom. You might be the low-level Israelite in the kingdom. No, the least in the kingdom is the slave. Is the people that are going to be subservient to this this God, despite outside of Israel. Okay, because they all will have to bow down before our feet, right? Let me
Finish it up.
Okay.
But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. And that's what we out here doing, man. We out here teaching the people to keep these commandments so that we can be great in the kingdom of heaven, and so that our people can be great among these damn heathens. That's what we're doing.
Say judging the 12 thrones. Is that important to the end? Or is it?
The 12th throne, that's Matthew 19.
Follow me.
Yeah, Matthew 19:28.
Okay.
Want to read it?
Bring that up.
Got it? Yeah, you got it.
We're gonna get this. I should have gave you 19. Okay.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 28.
Bring it out.
And Yahushua said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye have followed me, and in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
So you have to understand that we are going to be the judges of the nations. So we're through the 1/3 elect are the ones that have followed Christ through all the regenerations, and they're the ones that are going to put the rest of the nations in check. So even the least have to be subservient to the judges. Okay? All right, now you can bring out that Matthew 24, because Christ warned us of this. Christ warned us of the deviants that would do this. The people that are going to change this word around. This all is sensible. This all makes sense. This is all saying it plainly. But how is it that you twist this up and have the perception that we could be in a new covenant in this wicked, filthy earth? Man, I got garbage. There's the wind is blowing, and it's blowing freaking goddamn trash all over the goddamn place. Not that this is physically dirty with trash, it is filthy and defiled with wickedness. Okay? How can the Most High establish a kingdom or yet a new covenant, a new pact for the people that actually adhere to His word in this filthiness? You guys is bugging the hell out.
Bring it out, dog.
All right, bring it out, Matthew 24 and starting at 3.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privily, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world?
This is how we're going to know that we're at the end. Because people is just bugging out and twisting this word, let alone the whole world is going haywire. So how can we even establish a kingdom when there's nations against nations, all kind of stuff is going wrong, which he's going to bring out. Bring it out.
And Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you.
Take heed that no man deceive you. Are they not still deceivers? Huh? Are they not a plethora of doctrines, a plethora of religions, a plethora of doctrines of men, right? Because these people are not, you know, I should have had that as part of my as the scriptures say. Get that real quick. All right? Because we do, or I've said this before, we do it by the book. We do it by the book. We don't come here and give you a precept and then twist it out and give you the concepts of men. We say, thus saith the Lord. We do it by the book, as the scriptures say. Bring that up.
This is the book of St. John, chapter 7, verse 38. He that believeth on me, as the scripture has said.
You got to believe in Christ as the scriptures say, right? And Christ is the representative. He's the volume of the book. He is the word, but he's also the representative of the word of God. When he says he's the word, he said, I am the word of my Father. Okay, that is the word. Okay, because who gave the word in the beginning, right? And the word was with him, right? Being Christ. He's going to utter everything. He even said it himself. He said, this doctrine is not mine.
I got that.
All right?
St. John chapter 7, verse 16. Yahweh answered them and said, my doctrine is not mine, but his that sent me.
So he's glorifying the Father. He also, I think, I don't know if I have it here, but he also said, I'm not doing my will, he said. Right? He's doing the will of the Father. Okay? So he's excluding himself from the mix, despite you want to call him the Most High God. How in your Trinitarian mind you're going to say he's going to exclude himself from being the Most High power and say, it's not my power, it's the one who sent me.
Right? At that point, it's not even three and one anymore. They're separate.
Right.
At that point.
He's saying, I'm doing the will of my Father. Can he be saying, I'm doing the will of myself, the Father? At no point did he say that. Okay? You'll take and cherry pick. Now, when you cherry pick for your benefit. You cherry pick to try to twist and distort the word of God. When he says, me and the Father are one, you already took that as he's on one accord with the Father. Okay? Just like I'm in one accord with this brother. Am I this brother? Is he me? Am I this brother or this brother? No, we're all separate entities, but we're all working on one purpose. To glorify the Most High, just like Christ did. And extract our people. Because he came here for his people. Okay? And Matthew 1 and 21 will tell you that. The salvation unto the Israelites in Luke 168. I mean, we can go there. But you know what? The lesson is to try to break down these fallacies. All these follies that you are thinking about or believing in. Come on, people. You know what? And again, I'm not speaking to everybody. I'm not speaking to the masses. I'm speaking to the one that this sounds sensible to and is listening to every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Most High, not about my mouth. I'm just an instrument. I'm a tool piece. Okay? I'm speaking and uttering the words that are in the scriptures. I'm not twisting it. I'm not changing it. I got to dumb it down for you. But you know what? Hopefully, your wisdom will increase in time that you won't need me. And you start seeing things for yourself.
I got a precept.
No, go ahead. Bring out the precept because it was in your spirit to bring it out. And where did you get to on that, Matthew?
I left off at 5.
Okay, hold on. Go ahead.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 10 and verse 2. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of Yahweh, but not according to knowledge.
All right? Your zeal is spiritual. It takes on a whole new meaning. Okay? When you start adopting the knowledge, okay, it just transforms into what is the blessing of the Holy Ghost within you. Okay? Go ahead.
This is the book of St. John, chapter 6, starting at 38. For I come down from heaven, not to do my own will, but the will of him that sent me. And this is the Father's will which hath sent me, that of all which he hath given me, I should lose nothing.
Are you to tell me that Christ is speaking in the third person, like some psychopaths do? Okay? he's addressing his father. Can you not see throughout the scriptures he's glorifying his dad throughout? Okay, good. Let's finish up Matthew 24 so we can proceed.
One more verse.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna start from 39. And this is the Father's will which hath sent me, that of all which he hath given me, I should lose nothing, but should rise it up again at the last day. Verse 40.
Hold on, because that's very important. What did God give him? Can anybody answer that? And he gave him charge over his people. Okay? He gave him his people. You can find that in John 17. That it's time to glorify you to the people you gave. Okay? All right, go ahead.
Verse 40. And this is the will of him that sent me, that everyone which seeth the Son and believeth on him may have everlasting life, and I will rise him up at that last day.
That's who he's going to rise up in that last day. Okay? He already rose up through the power of the Holy Spirit and the Most High. Okay? He already rose up. So who he's going to rise? It's not him rising. He's going to rise up those people that now their resurrection has come. Right? Because we have been dead. We have been dead in knowledge. We have gone through these dark ages. We didn't have no way. We was going our own separate ways with this doctrine. We're following the doctrines of men. We are dead. But this is the time that we're going to come out of the graves, right? And wake up to this truth, right? And hear the shepherd's voice, right? Bring that up.
I'm going to hit 2 verses in St. John 17. I'm going to hit verse 3 and verse 6. This is the book of St. John, chapter 17 and verse 3. And this is life eternal.
This is life eternal. Okay?
That they might know thee, the only true God, and Yahawashi, Hamashiach, whom thou hast sent.
Okay? That's so that the people could really have a relationship with the Most High God and His Son. Okay? Which is our King. Okay?
Verse 6. I have manifested thy name unto the men which thou gavest me.
The men that thou gavest me.
Out of the world.
The only men that the Most High considers the 1/3 Israelite.
Thine they were, and thou gavest them me, and they have kept thy word.
That's what the Most High gave him. Okay, the 1/3. Okay, go ahead. Finish out Matthew. Yeah.
This is the book of Matthew, starting at chapter 24, starting at verse 5. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Yahawashi, and shall deceive many.
Hold on. Many shall come in my name. Okay? Alright? They brought Caesar Borgia to replace. See, the deception already happened. That's what y'all don't understand. See, when I was going to church, right? And when I mean church, I was what you call a so-called Christian, right? I am the quintessential Christian now because I truly follow Christ. I am the true Christian now. I am a true follower of Christ now. But when I was in that Christian dogma, I was young. I didn't know any better. My pastor said, hey, beware the wolves that come in sheep clothing. Beware, lest no man deceive you. He gave me these verses. So in my mind, I said, hey, man, anybody not speaking according to my pastor, I got to beware of that. Because I'm not looking for it for myself, right? But the word just told you, you have to do with it as the scriptures say, right? And so I was worried that if anything that sounded different than the doctrine that was putting out to me, no, those are the deceivers. But you don't understand, the deception already came. The deception came in conquest. The deception came through the slavery. The deception is coming via these curses that are upon us, right? That's got us dumb, stupid, and not understanding, right? Falling for every propaganda that's fed us, right? But thanks to the Most High. Thank you, the water, oh glorious God, Yahweh, that you woke me up out of this. I feel honored, but very, 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 very humble that I'm part of this election to actually see it for what it is. And I want you to see it for what it is. What would be this information if I don't produce fruit, right? And we're going to get to that. I think I got precepts on that. Finish it up. Yeah.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
So you think we scared? You think we're weary? Shoot, I don't think you guys are scared because y'all don't even paying attention to what's happening around the world. At least we're keeping an eye on it. Not that we're scared. In fact, we're praying for the destruction. Okay, we're praying because we know that this is part of the prophecy that has to happen for us to get up out of here. You guys are not scared because you're just ignorant. Because your social media and the media is not putting out this information. Why? They want to keep it from you. They want to keep it hidden so that when the destruction comes, you get destroyed with it.
Okay. This is the book of 2 Peter chapter 2, 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 3. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lusts. Verse 4, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation.
Yeah, and we got those people that say, man, I've been hearing it for years, right? I've been hearing it since I was little. Jesus is coming. Jesus is coming, right? You had all those. What comes to mind to me is an Edomite with a damn billboard. Jesus is coming. Jesus is coming, right? And so you know what? Then you get to the point, man, I've been hearing this all my life and I haven't seen him come. But you have to understand the span of time, brother. If one day to the Most High is 1,000 to us, you know, this has to take its development. It has to take its course. But if you really think about it, from the time that we were enslaved to the time that we so-called were freed, which we never been free, we still not free. But according to the propagandas of man, right? They want to tell you you're free. From the times that we went, I remember from the times of having rotary phones to now that my phone does all kind of amazing stuff. You know what I mean? You know, how quickly is time going? It says that the time will not be delayed or the time will not tarry for the elect's sake. Go ahead, bring out.
This is the book of Sirach 39, starting at the top. But he that giveth his mind unto the law of the Most High, and is occupied. Starting from the top. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in his meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecy.
That's right, brother. And we occupy ourselves in the prophecy. That's a good verse, brother. That's a good precept, because that's all we're paying attention to. We're paying attention to that the fact that we don't need for nobody to keep screaming at us, Jesus is coming, Jesus is coming. We're looking at the prophecies, and we are elated that we know he's coming because of what we see. And so the prophecies are dictating to us the signs of the
That's
time.
what the testimony of Yahushua is, the spirit of prophecy.
Come on. Finish out that Matthew. Yeah. I got
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, and pestilence, and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows.
Yep. All these are the beginning of sorrows for non-believers. For us, we're elated. I'm happy. I could see these buildings crumbling before my eyes, and I'm gonna be praising the Most High to either my demise or my rescue. But that's how I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go out. I'm either gonna go out a martyr praising His name, or I'm gonna be rescued by the chariots of the Most High praising His name.
Real quick, shout out to Deacon Akai, one of the things that he said that kind of built my faith is, in those last days when the chariots come and those bombs are coming here, you should have as much faith to just go outside, get a lawn chair, sip a cold drink, and wait on your house.
And wait on it.
And just
wait on it. Wait up to get beamed up, Scotty. All right? All right. So, okay. That's it for that?
Yeah.
Give me John 8 and 44. Give me
Walter.
He's got John. It's just that we got a lot of precepts that we added to it. Not that we add to the word, we add to precept upon precept. We'll bring a plethora of precept upon precept on you.
That's
but
right.
We don't add or take away a damn thing. All right, let's go.
This is the book of John, chapter 8 and verse 44. Ye are your father, the devil.
And if you are bringing and twisting and distorting this word, ye are your father, the devil. Because you know who's your father? That devil that you follow with all these doctrines of men, with all this twisted and distorted word. If you want to follow after him, he's your father. He's leading you unto your destruction. So follow your father, the devil, unto your own demise. Go ahead.
And the lust of your father ye will do.
45.
45. And because I tell you the truth, ye believe me not.
And because I tell you the truth, you just want to scoff at us, right? But that's what the Ak brought in the precept before. That scoffers in these days are going to be increased. That's all you're going to do. Is you rather clown on us instead of taking heed to the words that are coming out, right? Because you're bringing out the truth, right? But you don't want to take it as true. Go ahead.
Galatians chapter 6, verse 7.
But we're going to give you some more truth. Go ahead.
Be not deceived. Yahweh is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap.
And you're gonna look like the clown that you are, scoffing us at the end of the days when you don't get beamed up and you just get crushed by one of these tumbling buildings in the destruction that's near coming. All right? Go ahead, bro. I'll bring out that 1 John 2 and 4.
The book of John, chapter 2. The 1 John, the book of John, 1 John, chapter 2, verse 4. He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments, is a liar, and the truth is not in him.
So basically, if you don't keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, let me show you how important these laws, statutes, and commandments are. Torah means instruction. If you do not follow the instructions, like we say, we do it by the book. So we follow the instructions in order to get out of here.
That's right.
Imagine if somebody was to, right, they build a maze and they would spray paint arrows to show you the way out of there. It make it all that easier for you, right? So follow the arrows that we're painting for you. Follow the arrows that Yahweh and his son Yahweh are painting for you. So you don't get stuck up against the wall not knowing where you're going. Neither left nor right, right? It says there's a precept for that. Right? Keep on that path, right? Yeah, bring it out. Yeah, bring it out while he gets that. Again.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 13, starting at 26. Then shall ye begin to say, we have eaten and drunk in thy presence, and thou hast taught in our streets. But he shall say, I tell you, I know you not whence you are. Depart from me, all workers of iniquity. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth, when ye shall see Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and all the prophets in the kingdom of God, and you yourselves thrust out.
Go ahead, break that down now.
So in those days, a lot of people are going to come to Christ saying that I did this in your name, I prophesied in your name, I taught in your name. But he's just going to look at you and say, get away from me. You taught iniquity.
Yeah.
And in those days, and he never knew you. And in those days, and in those days, you're going to be so confounded. You're going to be so lost. You're going to be so confused. You're going to be, mashing your teeth together. God, why? I thought I was doing the right thing. Then you're going to see all of the elect in the 1/3, and you're going to wish that you were there.
Yeah, so,
right.
so we're going to tell you, get out of that BS right now. Get out of that BS of working this iniquity, because the Most High hates you. What did he just say? He hates? Yeah, the Most High hates. Bring out Psalm 5:5.
The book of Psalms, book of Psalms 5, verse 5. The foolish shall not stand in thy sight.
The foolish will not stand in the sight of the Most High,
Right.
only to be judged. Go ahead.
Thou hast all workers hatest all workers in iniquity.
I hate all workers of iniquity. He didn't say, I kind of hate, I'm going to have mercy on you. I'm going to pat you on the back, give you hugs and kisses and tell you to stop that. No, he hates all workers of iniquity. And you will be exterminated, all right, as the vermin that you are. Okay, wicked ass people. All right, give me Baruch, the 3rd chapter. Okay, bring that back.
This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 7, and verse 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in therein.
Okay? No, don't go to the right, don't go to the left. Stay on that straight.
Verse 14. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way, which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it.
Okay? There's going to be few that find it. What would we consider few? Well, we consider a few million out of billions, which are the elect of the Most High.
1/3 of this world are Christians.
Okay.
That's the wide gate.
That's the white gate. And the rest are, we got 1 billion Buddhists, right? We got about 1 billion Muslims. We got and 1 billion heathens, all right?
Baruch 3?
Yeah, give me Baruch 3. Somebody get on the pop.
3:15?
Yeah, 3:15.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 3, verse 15.
3 through 21.
Who have found her? Who have found her place? Or who had come into her treasures? Where are the princes of the heathen become, and such as rule the beast upon the earth? They that had their pastime with the fowls of the air, and they that hoarded up silver and gold wherein men trust, and made no end of their getting.
Who are these people we're talking about? Because, who plays with the birds of the air, man? Who comes to mind holding a goddamn big glove and having a goddamn eagle or falcon land on it and say, who does that? You know what I mean? But some weird, you know what? I'm not even calling out nations. I know that, I think that there's Arab people that do that and stuff like that. But it's not us. We're not over there playing with birds, all right? And we're not hoarding up every piece of silver and gold, all right? They did that. When poor Montezuma was trying to show his hospitality to the so-called explorers that were coming in, which turned out to be conquerors, because how it was real quick they turned into conquerors, from explorers to conquerors, right? When they saw that big barrel of gold and said, hey, you see this guy? We got a goddamn barrel of gold. Kill them motherfuckers. That's what happened.
But wait, let him show us his temple first. Then we'll kill him.
Yeah. Make sure. Hey, don't kill him. Yeah, make sure where they got the rest of the gold in it. Because they're gonna hoard every little bit and pieces of it. They sucked us dry out of every resource, out of every Israelite place on the planet. Okay, or at least every Israelite inhabitants of the planet. All right, they sucked us dry in Jerusalem, and they sucked us dry in the New World. Okay, because you know what? When we out to do the right thing, the Most High blesses us with abundance, and then when we go off, He strips us naked. Okay. All right. So keep going. Where you at on that? 18. Keep going.
For they that wrought in silver and were so careful, and whose works are unsearchable, they are vanished, and gone down to the grave, and others are come up in their steads.
Right. So when he made the land desolate in Jerusalem, yeah, there was somebody to take over that land and take our place, right? The fake Jew, right? The so-called Jewish Amalek is over there now, right? So now Amalek is abiding in the place where we should have been, okay? But now they took over our land. You got that? Hold that. Bring that out.
And this is the book of St. Luke, chapter 21, verse 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captives into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles.
Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles. Why are we not following this prophecy that came true? I don't even want to call out names, but you know what? We got a brother battling it out with a dumb Edomite that only wants to infiltrate your mind with nonsense, and he's not looking at to the book to actually say, man, yeah, this does fit you. You know what I mean? Of course that this book wasn't written verbatim as to where we would be, who we would be. There were clues that were given to us because it was given to us to know the mysteries of the word. It was given parables to the others. That's why you're going to beat yourself in the head trying to get it through this damn Edomite that's never going to understand because he's never going to get it.
That's right.
Okay, bring it up. So they got trodden down by the Gentiles, but that time is going to come to an end, and that's a prophecy that we're waiting for.
Just a precept off from Baruch. This is Psalms 49 and 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. So, just like the ox said, they conquer us. And in Baruch, it actually says they vanished and gone down to the grave, and others come up in their steads. So this is just saying that, you know, they conquer, they do all these things, they get all this silver and gold, and it's passed down from generation to generation. Just like the land of Israel is supposed to be ours, but it's passed down from their generation to their generation. So what their inward thoughts is, they think this is going to go on forever, not knowing that they're the end of this world that we're living in now.
And we're going to bring that out right now. Read that.
Book of Ezra, chapter 6. Second Ezra, chapter 6, verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world.
Esau is the end of the world. Okay? This Edomite you following, this Edomite that you're taking instruction for, the doctrine, this right here, the doctrines of men, okay? The people that establishes the dumbass religions that you follow, right, were created by these guys, right, that have at the time that they established this, brother, your black or Latino or indigenous ass could not go into these places of worship.
That's right.
Until they figured out that they could extract money out your pocket. Then they say, hey, man, maybe it might be a good idea to let them in. But when we're going to let them in, we're going to tell them what we think about it, not what does save the Lord. But see, they're going to bring an end to this world, okay? Because these people are known for nothing but destruction, and destruction follows them, okay? They were built for destruction, to create it, and to be destroyed themselves. So they're going to be the end of the world that you know, okay? But, continue.
The world end is the beginning of it that follows.
Let's read that again, brother.
And
Who is the beginning?
Read from the top, brother. Second Ezra
Second Ezra 6 and 9. For Esau is the end of the world,
He's the end of the world.
and is the beginning of it.
And who?
Jacob, huh?
And Jacob is the beginning of it that follows.
Jacob. Yeah. See, is that he's got the old world yeah, kingdom. No, that's even that's an Amalek. It's Amalek's words, but Jacob meaning Jacob is the end, is the beginning that follows. Meaning they're gonna be the end of the world, and like we said, we're gonna be judging the 12 on the 12 thrones, right? So we're gonna be the leadership that the world's been needing. We're gonna be the righteous judges of the world, and we're the beginning of everything that will go correctly on this earth. Okay? All right. So get that. You have Baruch, right? Where'd you get? How far you get? Uh-huh.
I was on 20.
All right. Bring out 21.
Young men have seen light and dwelt upon the earth, but the way of knowledge have they not known, nor understood the path thereof, nor laid hold of it. Their children were far off from the way.
Right. So anybody outside of the elect don't know the path of knowledge, right? To boot. Give me that Psalms 111 and 10.
The book of Psalms 111, verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
They don't fear the Lord. That's why they don't have understanding. Because the fearing the Lord will lead you to do what He say do, and then from there, your wisdom will be increased.
A good understanding have all they that do His commandments, has praise endureth forever.
Okay, so all they have good understanding, the ones that keep to the book, the ones that keep to the instruction. That your understanding is going to increase immensely. You're going to be able to see things the way we see it. And it's not that we see it any different. We see it as does the Most High intended. Okay? We can see between the lines that the Most High put there for us. Right? When the apostles asked Christ, why do you speak in parables? And He said, because it's not for them to know. It's for you to know. Okay? So if you're not just getting it, it's just because you're not built for this. So be it. Continue in your ways. You're gonna see at the end. You know when you're gonna get it? You're gonna get it at your destruction, at your demise. That's when you're gonna get it. You go, oh man. That's when you're gonna be pleading to the Lord. Oh, but did He not cast out devils in your name, Jesus? And He's gonna smack you in your face and say, call me by, put some respect on my name. Because that's not even respectful to even call Him Jesus. That's so far off of His actual Hebrew name. You be closer calling Him Joshua other than Jesus.
This is the book of 2 Maccabees, verse 6 and 5, chapter 6, verse 5. The altar also was filled with profane things, which the Lord forbiddeth. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep the Sabbath days, or ancient feasts, or to profess themselves to be a Jew. So in this land that we're in right now, when we call ourselves a Jew, people say that's not who you are. There's constantly people telling us who we are. They're defiling who we are in our heritage, just like they're defiling Yahweh's true name and his true message.
You gotta understand that even this goes along to when the apostles, the apostles to the so-called Gentiles, right, were going off into the other lands. They had to be very wary who they were speaking to, because if word got out that they were preaching another god that wasn't Apollo, Zeus, Hercules, or whatever gods that they were having between Rome and Greece, they would be subject to death. You know, they'd be close to being killed. All right, so they had to be very careful. That should be common logic. So they were going to speak to the Gentiles, the people that had been converted in their mind to being and acting as, you know, when in Rome, do as the Romans, right? When in Greece, do as the Greeks. When in America, do as America, right? So you're keeping the laws of the land, but you don't want to keep the laws of the Most High. I heard a man, shout out to the brother that said this. I think it's another brother that I think out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, man. I'm watching you, brothers, and if you ever come across my videos, man, shalom to you. They said, and this is, how true is this? America's got over 20,000 laws?
42.
Huh?
42,000.
42,000 laws, right? I think he said you can't. There's a law that said you can't eat a burger or a sandwich walking backwards. That's even a stupid law, right? But the fact, if you're not a felon, if you haven't been incarcerated, it's because you're actually keeping the laws without not knowing every single one of them, right? We tell you, Most High has 613 laws. I mean, we don't walk around with a 613 law pamphlet in our back pocket. We do in our knapsacks, in our backpacks, right? We have the Torah, right? And they're where you find the 613 laws. Do we know them all verbatim? Absolutely not. Do we complete? Do we fulfill them? All right. And when I use the word fulfill them, because that's exactly what Christ was doing. He was fulfilling them. Not that he fulfilled them and they're over. We are, and he was fulfilling the law, meaning we're keeping to it. We're doing it. He was doing it. Okay? Not all is fulfilled. There's many things. If you think that all is fulfilled and we're in the new covenant, then chuck your Bible, sit back, because Christ came already. He came back for you. Where he's at?
Yeah, we're in Jerusalem right now.
We're in Jerusalem. Right? The new Jerusalem is on earth. Where's your king? Go find him. Go bow down to him right now.
We have servants and handmaids. We
Right.
got vine dresses. We got land. We don't got none of that.
Come on, you know. So get off the craziness. Get off of that bugged out doctrine that you want. All right.
And it's 4,200, but it's still, what, 5-6 times more laws than the Most High has.
Right. And
But
so
that's too many.
And the Most High said that this wouldn't be grievous to us. You know what I mean? His word says it shouldn't be grievous to us, right? This is how you're going to show him love. I got no problem with what you're saying, Dad. I got you. This is what you need me to do. I got you. You know what I mean? I got love for you, Dad. I'm going to respect what you tell me. I'm going to humble down. I'm going to bow down. I'm not going to twist your words around.
This is the book of St. John, chapter 15, verse 10. If ye keep my commandments, ye shall abide in my love, even as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love.
Okay. At what point did he say, no, I didn't keep my Father's commandments because I came to fulfill them, and now things is going to get changed up? You know what I mean? That's absurd. That's absurd. In this verse, he's also giving honor and glory to his Father. So where did it change? At what point did Christ say, you know what, bump everything, here's the new Google? Yeah.
This is the book of 2 John, verse 5 and 3. Sorry. This is the book of 1 John, verse 5 and 3. But this we know, verse 5 and 2, starting at 2. But this we know, that we love the children of God, when we love God and keep his commandments. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous.
And this is how we know we love the children of God, because one of the major commandments that Christ was emphasizing of the law was love thy neighbor. Because we're not doing anything for the Most High or for Christ. They got it already. We have to do it for our people to bring them and glorify the Most High and our King. You understand? Our people need it.
Got a precept.
Go ahead.
1 Peter chapter 2, verse 21. For even hereunto were ye called, because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example that ye shall follow his steps, who did no sin, neither was guile found in his mouth.
Right. So he's saying you have to follow his ways. His example. Okay? And his example was keeping God's commandments. Okay? And so we keep God's commandments. And he says if you do that, you abide in both his and his Father's love.
That's right.
Okay? So he made it all inclusive there for you. You know what I mean? You get to love them both. As two entities, he made it all inclusive. Okay? You can love them both by doing this. Okay? The instruction of Christ was to keep his commandments. Okay? All right. And his commandments are the Father's commandments, and vice versa, because he's the word of the Most High. So he brings out the Most High's word through the volume of the book. He says he's the volume. So how could he be the volume of the book and not apply the law, which is part of the volume, or exclude a part of the volume when he is the volume? Come on, man. This is not sensible. The stuff y'all preaching is not sensible. Are you back at Baruch yet?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
31.
Yeah, bring out 31.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 3, verse 31. No man knoweth her way, nor thinketh her path. But he that knoweth all things knoweth her, and hath found her out with his understanding. He that prepared the earth forevermore hath filled it with four-footed beasts. He that sendeth forth light, and it goeth, call it again, and it obey him with fear.
Okay, and this is just basically going into wisdom, right? It says wisdom is the principal thing, right? Because this is where you're going to reach another level if you're destined to get to that other level. The level that you're striving to be is part of that election. That election is only built upon the getting of their wisdom. With all your understanding, get wisdom, right? Got that? Oh! It's okay. Bring out that John 10 and 3.
Okay, the book of John, chapter 10, verse 3. Red letters. To him, the porter opens, and the sheep hear his voice, and he calleth his own sheep by name and leadeth them out.
All right, so he called his sheep by name. So the sheep hear his voice, and he calls them out, right? Everybody else is not going to adhere to the voice of the Most High or the voice of his shepherd, right? Okay, bring that up.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 7. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And with all thy getting, get understanding.
This is the instruction. Get wisdom. Get all the understanding. You know, we got all these graduates here, and what kind of knowledge is really being bestowed on them in the propagandas of school? All right? School's teaching all this gender neutrality, teaching wokeism, teaching all kind of nonsense. But are you instructing these children in the way that they should go? Get me that in Proverbs 22 and 6. Whoever gets it first. And I said that because we're at a part where all the graduates, the prom queens, the prom kings, and everybody are coming to go get their flash on, their paparazzi on, and so they're here in droves. You know what I mean? But they're clueless. They're clueless. I feel sorry for today's generation with all the propaganda and bullshit that they're being fed. Okay, you got it?
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 22 and verse 6. Train up a child in the way that he should go.
The schools ain't doing this, let alone the parents ain't doing it. But if they were to do it, what would happen?
And when he is old, he will not depart from it.
And when he's old, he will not depart from it. You know, I again, the water to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, that in my foundation, it sprouted in me the understanding that I need to be here before you, teaching a bit to have you be one with us in our understanding and in our accord. Go ahead.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 9, starting at 8 all the way to 10. This is verse 8. Reprove not a scorner, lest he hate thee. Rebuke a wise man, and he will love thee. Give instruction to a wise man, and he will be yet wiser. Teach a just man, and he will increase in learning.
That's a beautiful precept, man.
One more.
Good.
Verse 10. The fear of Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom, and to know and the knowledge of the holy is understanding.
Man, that's a beautiful precept because you know what? Only stupid people go, nah. You wrong. Why? Because they don't know how else to respond, right? They don't know how else to react because obviously they don't know what the hell you're talking about. So it's the easiest thing for them to do is refute, right? And when they do it, they refute it without tangible, viable evidence. Okay? They just want to be naysayers, gainsayers, naysayers. Nah. It's easy to do that, right? But a wise man listens and he says, man, you know what? I've been wrong, but that's sensible, you know? I need to practice some of that. You know what I mean? Or if somebody teaches me some life hack and I went, damn man, I've been cutting these apples the wrong way when I saw in this life hack, man, you could just slice them up this way and it's so much easier. And you adopt something that's more sensible and more practical. This word is more sensible and practical than you think. You make it complicated through the doctrines of men. Good.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 9 and 11. This is the reward. This is the reward of being able to be teachable and obtain wisdom. For by me thy days shall be multiplied, and thy years of thy life shall be increased.
Right. So the years of your life are going to be increased to the everlasting. To the power of the everlasting and the power. I wasn't good at math, but to the infinite power, you know, of everlasting. Okay, that's what's everlasting, right? I mean, I heard Alistair say in one of his things, how can you come from everlasting if you're dead? You know what I mean? So you have to be living to continue in what's everlasting. Okay? Bring out your precept.
There's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6, verse 1 and 2. Now these are the commandments, the statutes, and the judgments which the Lord your God commanded to teach you, that ye might do them in the land whether ye go to possess it. Verse 2, that thou mightest fear Yahweh thy God, to keep all his statutes and his commandments, which I command thee, thou and thy son, and thy son's son, all the days of thy life, and that thy days may be prolonged. And verse 7, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest up by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up.
Man, you should be teaching this diligently to your children. I teach this diligently to my children. I think I'm the only one with children right now. But you got somebody under your wing.
I got my nephew.
You teach them diligently, right? You teach your stepdaughter diligently.
He came here and within 2 weeks he already knew, hey, every Sabbath you can't cook anything, you gotta rest, can't go anywhere. You gotta
chill out.
Just chill out.
And meditate.
Yep.
All right? But you know what? My kids know who they are, even from the smallest, man. You know what I mean? I'm not teaching hate. I'm teaching him to love his people. But even I never told him to hate an Edomite. You know what I mean? But the natural hatred that an Edomite has for us was reciprocated for him, in him. Why? Because he looking through I remember we was chilling at an apartment while our house was getting ready. We rented a place for about a month. And he's looking out the window, and there's these little Edomites throwing rocks at our window and throwing rocks around and just making fun of him. And he was younger than what he is now. He's 4 now. I think he was like maybe 3 years old. And he was telling them, you goddamn Edomites. He was breaking on them by their ethnicity, you know. And like I said, I'm not teaching. He felt that way because he felt like the caucasity, as I always give that name. I always give that the big ups to my brother Deacon for that word, man. And I'm gonna continue using that word. And we all should use that word throughout Israel. So don't try to patent it, Deacon. All right, the caucasity of these little devils to try to even, you know, make fun of my little guy. He was ready to go about it. All right, guys, you got something?
Psalm chapter 83, verse 3, all the way down to 6. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. And they have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation.
Come on, man. These people are trying. Imagine. See, even the word says that there's a certain people trying to cut off another people from their own ethnicity, from their own nationality, right? But yet we say something against a certain nationality outside of our own, and there's a problem with it. These people were really trying to do away with people. That's called genocide. Okay? Go ahead.
That the name of Israel may be in no more in remembrance.
And to boot, it was the Israelites that they were trying to do away with. Because I said this in my last video. If they can't beat us, they can't join us, then there's nothing left but to hate us and slay us, right? Go ahead.
For they have consulted together in one consent. They are confederate against thee.
And confederate means an opposing entity. They're confederate to us. They're opposite to us. Okay, and that's why they try to do what we done. You got Romans 9:11. Oh, one more. All right, there.
And I'm going to read verse 6, and I'm just going to read the first name.
Where did you get to that, please? Where'd you go? We were at 31.
I think I read it all.
To 33? Because we're going to go to 34 soon. Okay.
For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. Verse 6. The tabernacles of Edom is at the top of the list. And in the verse before that, it says they're confederate. Who were the Confederates in this country? Edomites.
Okay.
It's all spiritual, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, the naysayers will be saying, oh, it doesn't point out to being that nation, and how can you prove that you're an Israelite, and this and that, because it is spiritual, okay? And so people that do not have the spirit of righteousness, the Holy Spirit within them, they're never going to see it. They're not going to see it. So to them, they don't get it, they don't see it, or even if deep down inside they get it. Again, I'll say it, if they can't be us and they can't join us, they're going to hate us. And so they're going to look for every excuse to do away with us, okay? All right. Now let them bring out Romans 9 and 11 first.
The book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 11. For the children, being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of Yahweh according to election might stand not of works, but of him that calleth.
Okay, so this is Ephesians 1 and 4. Give me Galatians 3 and 29. Okay, I'm going to show, okay, that this isn't for everybody. And that's another thing. The doctrines of men that we showed you. Want to lift that up one more time, brother? The doctrines of men that we already showed you, okay, they want it to be all-inclusive when there's no possibility for it being all-inclusive, because the Most High chose it. I'm going to give you a few precepts to corroborate that, okay? Because he said, with the children not even knowing good or evil, it was by his election, by his choice, not by what you do, but his calling unto them, or the calling unto the elect. Because basically this is still talking about Esau and Jacob, because they're talking about how the Most High hated Esau and loved Jacob. And it's talking about Rebekah's womb in this passage, okay? And it goes on to talk about the potter, right? If you read further, and he's saying one vessel to honor and one to dishonor, just because that's the way he wants it. You know what I mean? He chose already. Ephesians 1 and 4 to corroborate this.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 1 and verse 4. According as he had chosen us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before him in love.
Okay? Before the foundations of the earth, he chose already. He chose his elect already. This is not something you can convert to, contrary to common belief. right? These Edomites walk these streets like they got gifts to earth, but they're God's destruction unto the earth, okay? And they'll be destroyed for it, okay? He already chose that in them, okay? That's what we was reading in Romans 9 and 11, the separation of good and evil. The Most High always makes this separation between the two, okay? I'm going to go to your favorite. He's our favorite too, man. He's our beloved. All the apostles and all the prophets are our favorites. They are beloved brothers, but I'm going to go to your beloved brother Paul in your beloved epistle that you love to go to in Galatians 3 at that. Go to Galatians 3 and 29.
This is the book of Galatians, chapter 3, verse 29.
Bring it out.
And if ye be Christ, then are ye Abraham's seed and heirs according to the promise.
And heirs according to the promise by seed line, by lineage. Okay? So do we go back to the seeds of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? Yeah, by the Spirit we can identify that. But we also, I'm going to prove to you that it is through that seed line that the election is. Okay? There's no other, there's no way into this if you're not from that seed line. There's no way into it if the Most High didn't choose you from the beginning. Okay? Go ahead, bring it up.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 9, starting at verse 3. For I could wish that myself were accursed for Christ.
Hold that. That's coming up next. Oh, okay. It's coming. I got that. Just that I'm going to prove beyond a shadow of doubt with the scriptures that this is towards an election of the Israelites and only to the Israelites. Go back and just finish out Baruch 34 and then we can hit that. Now he brought it out. Let him finish it. After. You can get me Psalms 105.
This is the book of. This is the book of Baruch, chapter 3, verse 34. The stars shine in their watching and rejoice. When he called them, they say, Here we be. And so with cheerfulness they showed light unto him that made them.
Okay, so he calleth them. It's like what we read before. The sheep hear my voice. I call them and they come. Okay, he calleth them. Okay, there's only people that have that ear frequency to hear that voice.
God.
Okay, all right. So now we're gonna go to Genesis. You get me Genesis 17. Read 5 through 7. And I picked up a good little pickup on this. How to break them.
God. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 16.
17.
Verse 5. Neither shall thy name anymore be called Abram.
Okay.
But thy name shall be Abraham. For a father of many nations have I made thee.
Father of many nations I have made thee. Because remember, there's other nations that are going to come out of Abraham's seed to include Ishmael. Go ahead.
Verse 6. And I will make thee exceeding fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee.
Kings and priests, there's kings and princesses over there in Dubai, Saudi Arabia, and all of Islam. Right, go ahead.
And I will establish my covenant between me and thee.
But he's going to establish his covenant with him, regardless of all the nations that are going to come out of him. Okay.
And thy seed after thee.
And thy seed after thee. All right. So we're going to get that. We're going to get that soon. That was 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
In their generations, for an everlasting covenant.
And this covenant, this pact that I'm going to make, is going to be everlasting. Okay.
To be a God unto thee, and to thy seed after thee.
And through your seed. And so we're talking bloodline heritage, the seed of man. Okay, he's going to bless his seed. one of his lineage. We're gonna get there. Okay, read 19 in that. Look at this.
Genesis chapter 17, verse 19. And Yahweh said, Sarah thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed.
Hold that. Say, hold that, and you're gonna read it. Give me Matthew 1. Look at this. Look at this. I want you to see the correlation in this, okay? I'm not going to break it down too much because it might be too meaty for the non-elect. But for the elect, y'all going to understand. Go ahead. Read that again.
Genesis chapter 17, verse 19. And Yahweh said, Sarah thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac.
Hold that. Read the beginning of that.
Matthew 1:21.
Uh-huh.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 1 and verse 21. And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Yahushua.
Okay? So look at the correlation. The Most High telling she's going to bear a son, and you're going to call him this. Mary's going to bear a son, and you're going to call him this. Continue.
And thou shalt call his name Isaac, and I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him.
And with the seed after him. Read that. Finish it out.
For he shall save his people from their sin.
His people from their sin. So the seed line, the everlasting covenant, it goes all the way through to salvation through Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. Okay? That's still the pact being fulfilled in his people. Okay? In this seed line. All right? That was just a nice pickup that I picked up on that. Psalms 104, 105. Read that.
The book of Psalms, 105, verse 9. Which covenant he made with Abram, and the oath unto Isaac,
And unto Isaac.
and confirmed the same unto Jacob
And conserved it through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Go ahead.
for a law, and his Israel for everlasting covenant.
And to Israel for everlasting covenant. How do you get around these verses? How? How do you do that? How do you get around this verse?
This is the book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 4, starting at 3. For I wish that myself were accursed from Christ, for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, and the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of God, and the promises.
Everything goes to the Israelites. All right?
Can I go down to 7?
Good.
Not as though the word of God hath taken none effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called.
And that's what we just read. The seed line goes through Isaac. And not all of Israel is Israel, because 2/3 got to go. The ones that came from Abraham ain't going to be able to go unless they go through Isaac.
The ones that don't believe in Yahweh Shai ain't gonna go.
Right. But again, it has to be a 1/3 portion of Isaac's seed. Okay? Give me that Sirach 17.
17 and what?
Start at 7.
This is the book of Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 17 and verse 7. Within he filled them with the knowledge of understanding, and showed them good and evil.
Okay? He filled them, the 1/3 of Yasharallah. Go ahead.
Verse 8. He set this eye upon their hearts, that he might show them the greatness of his works.
He's going to show them the greatness of their works. Give me Psalms 147 and 19. Go ahead, keep going.
Verse 9.
17.
Verse 9. He gave them to glory in his marvelous acts forever.
All these things that he gave. Remember, it's all going through the sea line. Where all the promises are to Israel. We've already established that. So get it in your head that this is all these promises, everything that he's saying that he's giving it unto Israel. Continue.
that they might declare his works with understanding. And that's what we're doing right now. We're breaking these things down, Barney style, for our people. We're declaring these great works for him.
Go ahead.
With understanding. And the elect shall praise his holy name.
And the elect. Okay, the elect. We already established who the election is. He elected it since the foundation of the earth. Ephesians will tell you that. Galatians will tell you that. John, Romans, the whole Bible suggests this. Go ahead.
Verse 11. Besides this, he gave them knowledge and the law of life for a heritage.
For a heritage. The law of life. The law is life, and it is your heritage. He didn't give it to no one else. Now, this is how we know. For Psalms 147 and 19.
Oh, you know.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, you there?
Yeah.
Read it.
Read it out.
Okay. The book of Psalms 147.
You be clear on this one. Go ahead.
Verse 19.
Go ahead.
He showed his word unto Jacob.
He showed his word unto Jacob.
His statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
His statutes and his judgments unto Israel, who is Jacob, the forefather of the Israelites. Go ahead.
He hath not dealt so with any nation.
He hadn't done this with nobody else. Go ahead.
As far as his judgments, they have not known them.
As far as his judgments, no one else has known them. They were given the law. Read through 20.
Praise ye the Lord.
20? Yeah, that was it. Okay. Con. All right. So he didn't establish this law with anybody. He didn't establish this pact with anybody else. He didn't write this contract to no one else. He only did it to Israel. He only did it through Jacob, through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's the sea line. That's the passage in which he dealt with. Okay. Let's go back to Baruch. This is going to get real good. It's going to get real good. Give me 35 and 36 just to top this off. We're still pinging off of Baruch. But this is the last ones we're going to use from this.
It's the book of Baruch, chapter 3, verse 35. This is our God.
This is our God.
And there shall none other be accounted of in comparison of him.
And there's no comparison to whatever fictitious gods you make, whatever fictitious gods you serve, whatever fictitious doctrines you bring. There's none in comparison to Yahweh.
Khan, that's right.
Okay.
He hath found out all the way of knowledge, and hath given it unto Jacob.
He's the most knowledgeable being on the universe, and he bestowed it on us. Go ahead.
He hath given it unto Jacob his servant, and Israel his beloved.
And Israel is his beloved. Okay? That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Give me Colossians 2 and 2.
The book of Colossians, chapter 2, verse 2. That their hearts might be comforted. This is the book of Colossians, chapter 2, verse 2. That their hearts might be comforted.
We're comforted.
Being knit together in love.
We're knit together in love.
And unto all riches of the full assurance of understanding.
And we exceedingly getting this wisdom and understanding daily. Go ahead.
To the acknowledgement of the mysteries of God and of the Father and of Christ.
To us are given the mysteries and the treasures of this word. Keep going through 8.
In whom are hid all the treasures of wisdom and knowledge.
That's right. They're hid from everybody else, but they're known to us. Go ahead.
And this I say, lest any man should beguile you with enticing words, for thou I be absent in the flesh.
So he's going to be absent to you guys that allow yourself to be beguiled by guys with smooth words, with guys with extensive vocabularies Did I just do a pun? Vocabularies, right? Guys with extensive vocabularies to beguile you. Okay? All right. Let's go. Give me John 15 and 1. Whoever gets there first. Let's see who's quickest on the sword. I'm going to precept it with 2nd Ezra. If you're still in the apartment, just stay there. 2nd Ezra 5 and 20. Let him bring 1 John 15 and 1 first.
What do you want to say?
No, John, regular John 15 and 1.
The book of
2nd Ezra 5, 20. Yeah. 15 and 1.
The book of John, chapter 15, verse 1. Red letters. I am the true vine, and my Father is the husband. Every breach in me that beareth not fruit, he's taken away, and every breach that beareth fruit, he filleth, that it may bring forth more fruit.
So he's the true vine, okay? And the husband is the one that's like considered the caretaker of the garden, right? The husbandman is the caretaker. But the true vine is Yahushua, right? So one vine, all right? 2nd Ezra 5 and 23.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 5, verse 23. And said, O Yahweh, that bear rule of every wood of the earth, and of all the trees thereof, you have chosen only one vine.
You have only chosen one vine, okay? So, again, back to the elect, okay? You have chosen one vine, right? The representation of the vine is Christ and those that grow with it, right? Them that follow me through the regeneration. Continue.
Verse 24. And of all lands of the whole world, you have chosen one pit, and of all the flowers thereof, one lily.
Okay, so he chooses one. So he's just choosing one of each kind. So why would he choose multiple of one of diverse, right? Diverse fruit, diverse manner of animals or whatever. He's choosing one. These are his favorite things, right? Go ahead.
Verse 25. And of all the depths of the sea, you have built one river. And of all built cities, you have hollowed Zion unto yourself.
Okay, and you have taken Zion unto yourself, right? This is the one people that he loves, the one people that are part of the vine, right? Okay.
Verse 27. And among all the multitudes of people, you have gotten one. And unto this people whom you love, you gave one law that is approved of all.
All right, so he gave one law to these one people. It doesn't extend anywhere else. The vine stays true. Okay. Where are we with that? Okay, give me. Who was at John 15? All right. You still there?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he said come.
Yeah.
All right, bring it out. Bring out verse 11.
Okay, the book of John.
Saint John.
No, when you bring out, no, same thing. Bring out verse 2. Bring out the second verse.
Every breach,
Every branch.
every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. And every branch that beareth fruit, he pruneth it that it may bring forth more fruit.
All right, so birch. Okay, so read that again. Using the word birch. So it's read
Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. And every branch that beareth fruit is purged that it may bring forth more fruit.
Okay, so what I've said this in the past. If you're not bearing fruit, you're worthless to the Most High. You're going to be cut off from. Your branches are going to wither away. They're going to get cut off. They're not supplying the vine, and the vine is not supplying it. Okay, so but everyone that bears fruit, he's going to prune, right? He's going to prune and purge, and like the husband would do, take care of his garden, and he's going to nurture it to bring forth more fruit. Okay, continue. Verse 3.
Now ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you.
Good.
Abide in me, and I in you, as breach cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine. No more can ye except ye abide in me. Abide in me.
The branch cannot bear fruit unless it abides in that vine. Okay? So if you're not being nurtured by that vine, you're not going to be producing fruit. That vine is going to cause you to bring out the fruit. Or if not, you're like it said in the second verse, you're going to be cut off. Okay? So all those of Yasharala that are not bearing that fruit is going to be cut off. Bring out your precept.
There's the book of St. Matthew, chapter 3 and verse 10. And now also the axe is laid unto the root of the trees. Therefore every tree which bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire.
Right, so that is going to say the same thing, right? It's going to be cast into the fire, okay? So that's that lake of fire that we were telling you. You're going to be there at the end to get that special radiation the Most High is holding for you. The precept.
Yeah. This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 13, verse 7. Awake, O sword, against my shepherd, and against the man that is my fellow, saith Yahweh of hosts. Smite the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered, and I will turn my hand upon the little one. And it shall come to pass in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein.
Okay, so that's just it. The shepherd had gotten smited, and we entered into the dark ages. We didn't have a shepherd leading us through a certain time. We didn't have the prophets. We didn't have nothing. So that's where we got scattered. But that's a way of sifting out the good fruit from the bad fruit, the wheat from the tares, the sheep from the goats. That's a sifting method. Okay, but that's why 2/3 of our people got to go, because they're wicked as hell. Continue with your precept in 15 and
Okay, book of John, chapter 15, verse 5. I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me, ye can do nothing.
Without him, without that vine, you can't do nothing.
Can't do nothing through Paul, through Peter. It's only through Yahweh Shai.
Right? That's where your salvation lies. That's where your nurturing lies. That's where you need to follow the example of the vine. That's why you need to stay true to the vine. Okay? If not, you'll be cast away, withered away, dried up, and thrown in the fire. Cast into the fire. Continue.
And then if a man abide not in me, he is cast forth a branch and withered, and man gathered them and cast him into the fire, and they are burned.
I just said that. Go ahead.
If ye abide in me, and my words abide in you, you shall ask what ye will, and it shall be done unto you.
You put God first, and everything's going to be added to you.
That's right.
All you need is ask. I mean, if it's a necessity, best believe you're going to have it. But sometimes I see myself just getting things that I just want. Why? Because I'm that good child. I'm the child that's out here trying to produce fruit. I'm not bigging myself up. I'm just telling you that I'm doing this humbly. But because I do this with all the love of my heart towards my people, towards Kwam Yasharala, the Most High is taking care of me. You know, I have need or want for anything. Good.
Here, verse 8. Hereon is my Father is glorified, that ye bear much fruit. So shall ye be my disciples.
You have to be a disciple. You have to be a disciple. That's going back to following in the ways of Christ. Go ahead, bring out your precept.
It's the book of John, chapter 14, verse 6. Yahushua said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. If ye had known me, ye should have known my Father also.
Again, but the Trinitarians that may come across, come on. He said, if you know me, you're going to know my Father. It don't mean that if you see me, he said that too. If you see me, you've seen the Father. But again, it's just because he's in one accord with his Father. He is of his Father. I got a kid that looks just like me, but he ain't me. Okay?
The book of John, chapter 15, verse 9. As the Father has loved me, so have I loved you. Continue ye in my love. If you keep my commandments, ye shall abide in my love, even as I have kept my Father's commandments and obey in his love.
Abide in his love. And so, again, both ways. It goes both ways. I love my Father. I keep his commandments. You're within both, embraced by both the loves of both of us, because you're doing his will. Again, him giving the glory to his Father. You're doing the will of my Father. So you love my dad, I love you. And my dad's going to love you because you follow me too. Okay? It works that way. You know what I mean? You got love for my kid, I got love for you. You treat him right, I got love for you. And guess what? And if my kid loves you as a friend and whatever, guess what? I'm going to love you as well. He loves you, I love you. You take care of him, I take care of you.
But for Christians, all common sense just goes out the window once you pick this up.
Yeah.
Same way.
Common sense is out the door when it comes to the Bible. You want to apply common sense to everything, but when it comes to the Bible, you want to do fairy tale. You go to the Disneyland, right? The Disneyland. I call it Disneyland. I don't want no goddamn copyright. It's Dizzy, D-I-Z-Z-Y, land, L-A-N-D, Disneyland.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 14, verse 33. For Yahweh is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all the churches of his saints.
Con. And so I'm going to finish off with this precept. All right. Give me Ecclesiastics 45 and 22. Sirach? Yeah, Sirach. Yeah, Ecclesiasticus. Sirach. 45 and 22. No, 45. 22. So I brought out a plethora of, I don't know why I've been using that word lately, plethora, an immense amount of evidence of this word, not of man, not of archaeology, not of science, but of this word, the common sense of this word that you should be making. Like he said, you're throwing common sense out the door. This is the words of the prophets and of your king and of your father, the one that gave the inspiration for all the entire scriptures. Bring it out. We'll finish off with this.
Sirach, chapter 45 and verse 22. Howbeit in the land of the people, howbeit in the land of the people, he had no inheritance, neither had any portion among the people.
So there's a people that how dare they even claim anything? They don't got no portions in this. They got no claim to this, no inheritance. Go ahead.
For the Lord himself is his portion and inheritance.
All right. For the Lord is the portion and the inheritance. You know what? I was looking for Israel is his portion. That wasn't the one I was reading earlier. Good, bring it up.
17, verse 17. For in the division of the nations
That's what I want.
of the whole earth, he set a ruler over every people.
So check it out. He divided the nations and set their own rulers, right? But go ahead.
But Israel is Yahweh's portion.
But Israel is Yahweh's portion. That's how we should have ended. That's how I would have wanted to end it. I got that. What was that? 17. You know what? You know what? We didn't read all the way.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 9. For the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance.
Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. Good precept. That is the precept for that, or vice versa. So you look, this is what we do: precept upon precept, line upon line. How is it that this brother can line up the precept that this brother's bringing out? This brother go back to it. It just so naturally, because it just flows in a natural accord amongst all of us to bring out this truth. And we do it for our people. And with that, I say, Kwam Yasharala.
Kwam Yasharala.
With that, we're going to end giving all praises and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, in his only begotten Son's name, which the world ignorantly calls Jesus. And his mama would have called him Yahweh Shai in the Hebrew. And with that being said, we go Kahala Yahweh Bahashem Hamashiach Mamalak Adawan Yahweh Shai Barakatah Barakatah Yahweh Barakatah Yahweh Shai Barakatah Rakar Kadash, and the water for Barakatah the Ba. All right, and that's thank you for giving us this word and allowing us to share it with you. All praises to the Most High.
You just want to get that last one in there, don't you, brother?
That's all right.